I'm recording this video with my three DJI cameras, the DJI Osmo 360 here, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in the middle, and the DJI Action 5 Pro on this side, and I'm shooting in D-Log-M on the three cameras. From one side, I want to compare the D-Log-M of these three cameras, and from the other side, I have things to tell you because DJI made it work now. Let me tell you more about it. And by the way, I'm shooting with the single lens mode on the DJI Osmo 360, and all cameras are set to 4K 25 frames per second, 16:9, and exposure compensation to -0.3 on the three cameras. It started to rain now. Anyway, it won't rain a lot, so we can continue talking. So in order to edit this footage, I will use the DJI LUT for the Osmo 360 and the DJI LUT for the Osmo Pocket 3, and the same for the Action 5 Pro. I will not color grade the footage, I will just convert them from log to Rec 709. So just you can tell me whether you have the same colors and the same rendering on the three images, because according to my tests there is quite some differences in the D-Log-M of these three cameras. So what do you think about that? Let me know your thoughts down below. So actually I'm making this video to tell you that finally I got the last update for the DJI Studio, and that was a hassle to get, because every time I was opening my DJI Studio it was telling me that it was up to date, and that was frustrating because I had all those warpy lines on the Osmo 360 files and so on, and I got lots of comments on my videos telling me that I can download that from their website, and that's what I did. And finally I have the latest firmware or the latest update for their software, the DJI Studio. But I don't know why with DJI, whether with the Mimo app or with their software, you cannot get things easier or easily. You have always to work around the stuff in order to let them work. You know, on the Mimo app it wasn't showing the updates before. You have to go manually to download the firmwares and so on. It was a big hassle. I made many videos about that. They promised me they would work on the DJI Mimo app, but they didn't work in the way that I expect them to work on, you know. And now with this DJI Studio software, I think they have a very bad engineering or computer engineering team, because they aren't doing their job in the correct way. How come in 2025 they cannot link the software to their cloud, to their service, to their like where they store their files, to check, to communicate, to see if this is the last firmware or not? Because if the application or if the studio version is showing you that this is up to date, you won't think about going to their website to download the latest one and so on. So I don't know why DJI are still not working properly good on this topic. Why we still have to go to find the firmwares, the softwares manually. And that's something weird. But finally it worked on my computer, and this is the most important thing. It worked, and now I can do some 360 tests without those warpy lines that we used to see on my videos before. And because it started to rain, I have to wipe the lenses during this video. So it's another way or also to test the Osmo 360 outside. It's like very light rain, it's not a heavy rain, otherwise I won't risk my Osmo Pocket 3 outside. That's noisy. But yeah, I have to wipe it from time to time. So if you see some water drops on the lens, this is normal, this is not fog. If there will be fog, I'll be telling you that. And in speaking of fog, actually, I know that putting the camera under the tap is not a typical test, is not very significant as a test. But the idea behind that is that I've been receiving lots of messages, lots of comments, lots of videos also showing the fog issues. One of my followers, he made a huge skydive a few days ago and he was using the Osmo 360 and the videos were ruined because of that fog. I posted the short video that he sent me, so you can go check that. This is very annoying, this is very bizarre, this is very weird to have that. And DJI's solution is just open the battery door, let the moisture out, and then use it again. Well, this is not a serious solution for that. This is just once again we have to work around the issues in order to let them work in the way that we want them to work, in the way that we want them to behave. You know, it is very weird. Wow, it is very weird from DJI, a company such as DJI, to tell people, okay, no problem, just open the battery, let the moisture out. Why you didn't do that while making your cameras, while packing your cameras? Why you didn't do that just before sending it to the clients? This is something very interesting and, well, very important to talk about. I'm not just ranting on DJI, even though you might think that, but I'm a big DJI user and I've worked with them many times on the firmwares for the Action 5 Pro, and because I have this relation with DJI products and DJI support team and DJI marketing team, I can talk about this because I know that they have to listen to these comments, to these critiques. We are not just criticizing the brand. These are noisy guys here. Let's go the other way. I'm not just criticizing the brand just for the sake of that, but I'm just asking for solution and for serious solutions, and I'm just asking them not to throw fanboys everywhere just to comment in a very silly way on all the comments and all the videos and all the thoughts that we have on their cameras. I just want them not to send their support team in a silly way to tell people just open the battery door. Instead they can say, well, send us your camera, it looks like you have a problem. Or they can just admit that they have some issues with their cameras, they can stop selling it. Maybe this is the problem with the first batch. But once again, I have another question for DJI users, for DJI creators, and for DJI themselves. Every time before the release, is this recording? Yeah. Every time before the release of a product, you send it to reviewers, you send it to people who will actually use the cameras. But it happened that recently you've been sending your cameras to people who will use it just once on the release date, and then it will be on their shelves. And you know that very well, I think, and it's very common now on the internet. And you got feedbacks. Of course, some of them had that fog issue, and I know one that had that fog issue and he reported that. But nothing has changed. You sold the camera as it is without modifying this. And if you would like me to tell you the solution for that fog issue, it's not the moisture. It's the lens being heated at a certain temperature, because you don't have any rubbery thing around the lens to prevent, I mean, the moisture inside. If you have like a rubbery thing around the lens, just like what you have on the Action 5 Pro, this rubber thing, I'm quite sure that this will help you avoid anything related to fog inside of your camera. Just think about what happened with the Ace Pro 2 last year, or when it was released. The first batch came without this ring, this rubber ring around the lens, and in some cases, in some scenes, in some situations, not every time, not everywhere, not with everyone, it fogged. So they stopped selling it. It was a bit weird because we didn't hear from them about that. And then they started delivering the cameras with that rubbery thing. And from that time, no one was talking about that fog issue. That means that this rubbery thing helped removing or helped avoiding this fog in the lens. So you should have learned from these mistakes from your competitors in the market. And this is where I think you were not so professional in this camera, because you released once again a prototype. You are waiting for feedbacks from people and maybe to adjust that in the next firmware, in the next generation, just like the DJI Action 5 Pro. I don't know, when a company can make a DJI Pocket 3, which is, it's been 2 years in the market, it's still selling hot, it's still out of stock almost everywhere. So why you make these flops? Maybe you have some different strategies, but yeah, this is not something interesting for those who'd like to support your brand, for those who'd like to get the next camera every year, and so on. So now people are waiting, they are having huge expectations from you for the DJI Action 6 and for the upcoming generations of these cameras. So you don't have to be bad in in those releases. So yeah. Anyway, that was it. It was my walk for today. I'm going to discover the result of the D-Log M, just like you in this video. And if there are some DJI fanboys or DJI support team or anyone from DJI watching my videos, and if you'd like to go live on my channel, we can do that. We can discuss these issues, we can discuss some solutions as well, because it's not only about sharing bad stuff about the brand, but also suggesting solutions for that. So yeah, that was it, guys. If you like the image coming out from the Action 5, the Osmo Pocket 3 or the Osmo 360, let me know that down below. If you prefer maybe to do some if you prefer me to do some other tests on these cameras, also let me know, and I'll make sure to make these tests for you on this channel. So yeah, that was it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and ciao for now.